Oi, pessoal, tudo bem? Aqui é a Luciana da Street Smart Brazil. Today I want to show you how to make comparisons in Portuguese, and I want to show you how not to make a mistake that I see all the time, but it's easy to not make that mistake, and you, my friend, are not going to make it again after today. How would you say the following in Portuguese? Márcia is taller than Clarinha. So one option is Márcia é mais alta de Clarinha. Márcia é mais alta que Clarinha. Márcia é mais alta do que Clarinha. Márcia é mais alta de que Clarinha. What would be your answer? The answer is not Márcia é mais alta de Clarinha. And I hear that all the time. You can say mais que, and you can say mais do que. But, so you could say Márcia é mais alta que Clarinha. Márcia é mais alta do que Clarinha. But you cannot say Márcia é mais alta de Clarinha. Also, don't say Márcia é mais alta de que Clarinha. So let's practice a bit. How would you say this in Portuguese? Brazilian coffee is stronger than American coffee. You could say o café brasileiro é mais forte do que o café americano, or o café brasileiro é mais forte que o café americano. Now, is it? Do you think it is? I'd love to hear your opinion. The weather in the northeast of Brazil is hotter than the weather in the south. You could say o clima no nordeste do Brasil é mais quente do que o clima no sul. O clima no nordeste do Brasil é mais quente que o clima no sul. Both options are correct. One more. Francisca travels more than Antônia. Francisca viaja mais que Antônia. I don't have to repeat viaja at the end. Or Francisca viaja mais do que Antônia. So the takeaway here is you can say mais que, you can say mais do que. But you always need that que. And use do que, not do. Use do que when you decide to use the preposition do. Don't use de que. So mais que, mais do que. And then to say less than, it's the same thing, but you say menos que, menos do que. So in Recife, it's less cold than in Porto Alegre. Have you been to one of those cities? I'd love to know. I grew up in Recife. You could say, em Recife faz menos frio do que em Porto Alegre. And you could say, em Recife faz menos frio que em Porto Alegre. Now, did you know that for us, both less and fewer is menos? So for us Brazilians, it's complicated to learn how to say like fewer people, less time. We mix those up because for us it's one word, menos. So next time your Brazilian friend or family member mixes up less and fewer, you know why. Now here's how to say much more than, much less than. But before we get there, I want to tell you that I prepared interactive exercises on my website for you to practice comparisons. I also have exercises on how to order food and drinks in a restaurant in Brazil, just like a Brazilian. And I have one with 21 idiomatic expressions, colloquial expressions using the colors. I'll put a link in the video description. It will ask for your email. It will put you in my email list, which means that every 2 weeks or so, you get an email from me with a mini lesson, language tips, cultural tips. How would you say this? He listens to samba much more than he listens to MPB. You could say, ele escuta samba muito mais do que MPB, or ele escuta samba muito mais que MPB. I'm gonna show you another way just in a moment, but I want to tell you that you could say ele escuta samba muito mais do que ele escuta MPB, but you don't have to repeat the verb. You can also use bem. Ele escuta samba bem mais do que MPB. Ou ele escuta samba bem mais que MPB. You can use muito mais, you can use bem mais. It's the same thing. So how about this one? Brazilians use their hands Here I am. Brazilians use their hands much more than the English when they speak. I cannot speak without moving my hands. Os brasileiros usam as mãos muito mais do que os ingleses quando falam. Or, os brasileiros usam as mãos muito mais que os ingleses quando falam. And you can also use bem. Os brasileiros usam as mãos bem mais do que os ingleses quando falam. Or, os brasileiros usam as mãos bem mais que os ingleses quando falam. It's going to be the same thing when you say much less than. You can say muito menos or bem menos. Os ingleses usam as mãos muito menos do que os brasileiros quando falam. Or, os ingleses usam as mãos bem menos do que os brasileiros. Os ingleses usam as mãos bem menos que os brasileiros. You have many options. One final note about the verb gostar in comparisons. The verb gostar always needs the preposition de, connecting the verb to what you like. Like when I say, eu gosto de café, which is true, I love it. So a very common mistake I see is that when people are making comparisons, actually when they use the verb gostar in general, they forget that preposition, but you need it. So when you make a comparison using the verb gostar, keep the preposition in there. Let me show you. Eu gosto mais de café do que de chá. That's completely true. So you have the preposition de in both parts of the sentence. I have a course, an online self-paced course, which is the Bootcamp. I call it Bootcamp, but it's Bootcamp. Bootcamp do Verbo gostar. It is a focused course on using the verb gostar. And in that course, you have interactive exercises. But I think the best thing is that I go through every little detail on how to use the verb gostar correctly. And when you buy my Bootcamp de Verbos e Preposições, you get the Bootcamp do Verbo gostar for free. So I'll put a link to all of that in the video description. This is it for comparisons, but you know that there are always exceptions. There are always exceptions. We have a few irregular comparisons, which are bigger, smaller, better, worse. I will talk about those in a different video so that this one doesn't get too long. And I want to remind you that I would love to be a part of your Portuguese learning journey. So there is a link in the video description for you to join my email list and get access to these 3 interactive exercises on my website. I hope to see you there. I hope to hear from you soon. Obrigada por assistir. Tchau, tchau.